Hi, this is Survivor from Scrappy Mania, and today I'm going to create a drawing here or painting. I've been inspired by one of my favorite artists, which is Ginger Cook, and she was creating this wonderful bright picture that had pears in the background and then had some nice background behind it. I don't have her colors, so she was using yellow ochre, the napson crimson, napson yellow or something like that. She was using a violet. She was using ultramarine blue, phthalo blue, and two different types of red, and then white. I don't have any of those. So what I have, and I'll put what she was using, but those are not the colors I'll be using. I got these master chust. So I want to create, hopefully I can create this kind of similar drawing as hers, but using economic paints for myself. Now I know one of the recommendation is you want to use good quality paint because you won't get frustrated with your art. I just want to play, I want to concentrate on mixes, and I want to concentrate on the shape, and hopefully I will get this kind of similar result what she had. But if I don't get similar results, I'm not going to get frustrated. I'm just going to see if I can do it. For those out there that may get discouraged, I highly recommend that you may want to get little tubes of the artist quality paint and use the paints she's using and follow along. But for me, I'm just playing around with what I got, and it makes me happy. So whatever comes out, we'll see what happens. So I'm going to use two reds. My two reds are going to be this Artist Loft Deep Red and Permanent Red. I think that would be good. Then I'm using this lemon yellow, this olive green, this violet, this green yellow, and this Payne's gray. So she had a kind of orangey red kind of background, which I love. It really popped. So more likely I may not be able to get the same kind of background, but let's see what we can do. So I got my palette here, and I'm using, this is an angle brush and a smaller angle brush. This is 3/4 of an inch brush, and this is 1/2 inch brush. So I have a 1/2 inch and I have a 3/4 of an inch brush. I got my water, and let me go ahead and set aside, make some space in my room. I got too much junk. So here is my color wheel. So here's my red orange. So if I add a little bit of yellow, it may make this bright orange. I'm using primary red. Let's look at this one. This is deep red, so I'm going to put a little bit of that. And it's not even open. So let's open this thing. And we're just having fun, so don't stress too much about it. Art should not be stressful. Art needs to be something that we do to relax, so don't stress about it. I'm going to use this yellow lemon. Again, I didn't open this up. Now, I bought these when they were on sale. They were $2, and I thought they would be perfect for my art journal, and if I decide to host a class in church, I think this will be perfect for what they do. You know, the little kids, they don't need this really artistic, expensive paint. They just like just the flow of it, of just making something. So now let's go ahead and create the background. So I'm going to take a little bit of red, put it here, scoop up a little bit of this primary red and deep red. And I'm going to scoop a little bit of this yellow. So here I'm mixing my red and with yellow, trying to create that bright background. Of course, and I have the link of Ginger on my description below, so I highly recommend that you follow along with her, because she's really going to give you a lot of good tips on how to paint this. But this is my interpretation, and basically my video is showing you anybody could do it. If I can do it, you can do it. And you don't have to get those really expensive paint, the Matisse or the golden. If it's just something that you want to put on in an art journal and it's just for yourself and you're not selling it, then these paints are perfectly fine. You do need to put more than one coat when you do apply these type of paint, because this paint is not very, doesn't have a lot of pigment, so it's not going to cover as deep as if you were using pro paints, but it will work. The other thing that I did is I speed up this video because I've had users, or I have subscribers that said that they would like to see the extended version instead of the speed up version. So this is the speed up version for those who like just to see the painting and not really want to sit there for an hour to watch me paint. Just wanted to see it real quick and get some tips. I do have the extended version, so if you want me see me painting this, that it took an hour plus some minutes to make the original painting, and then you can also hear me talk along as I paint. So I have two versions on my website or on my YouTube channel. And here, one of the things that I've learned from Ginger, which that's why I highly recommend that you visit like Ginger Cook, her channel. The Art Sherpa is another good resource. You have Lindsay from the Frugal Crafter and Angela Anderson. Those are my favorite YouTube artists that are teaching me how to paint. One of the things that Ginger says that if you want to use yellow or bright colors, you have to put white, especially if it's against a dark background like I have here. So that's what I did. I painted my jug with white acrylic paint, and actually I used gesso, and I also use white on my apples and my lemon. So that really worked very well for me, and that's going to help me to help me with these colors pop out and not to kind of be more bright than to do. The other thing, I'm using the color wheel. This is another advice from Ginger. Ginger always uses her color wheel when she's painting, and she always uses a grayscale that she has. I don't have the grayscale, but I do have a color wheel, and that's going to help me. It's helping me figure out what colors not to mix together to make mud, and what colors that I can put alongside that's going to help really make this painting a lot nicer. And another thing that you wanna dry in between layers. So here I'm letting, as you can see, I'm painting some areas, letting some other areas dry, and then I changed areas. So you want to make sure you want to leave the paint dry completely before you put more layers on top, so that way it actually complements and it doesn't mix with the colors, unless you want to mix it with the color below. The other thing is it also doesn't lift it up. So if your paint is tacky, if you try to put more paint on top, it will lift it up, and you may not want to do that, or not necessarily want that. So I do let things dry, and then I go over it later on once it's dry with more color. So as you can see, one of the other things that I learned from Ginger, so that's why I highly recommend that you watch her channel and her daughter and everybody else, because they have a lot of tips. They've gone to art school, and they will give you good advice on how to make your painting pop. Well, one of the things that I've learned from Ginger, and also from the Art Sherpa, which is Ginger's daughter, is to wherever you have a dark, you need a light source, So wherever you put dark, you have to have some kind of lighter color. So that's why you see on the edge, even though I put dark, I did follow along some areas with some brighter, lighter color. So, and that's going to help make that jug bring it forward, and the background recede a little more to the back. So now my light source is actually coming, or in my imagination, is coming from the top right of the page. So that's why I'm concentrating, a lot of my shadows are on the left side. So that's why you see that there's some more brown on the left side of the jug. And then my apples, your apples is never completely red. It does have, some of your apples will have a little bit of green, a little bit of yellow, a little bit of dark area. So that's what I'm trying to do with this, just simulate that. And I'm putting my stem, and then I'm just putting some highlights, some white paint highlights on the apples. And I'm keeping it in a circular motion, as you can see, for my apples. And I'm putting some more lighted area. And now I decided to put some berries. In Ginger's original tutorial, she did not put berries, but I just felt like I needed some, so I kind of did some, or I took some artistic license and did some berries on mine. And then pretty soon, you see how that apple doesn't really stand out as much. So what you have to do here, I'm going in with some more dark, and see the both of those apples were like mixing together, and you did not see a really good delineation between one or the other. But when I put that black shadow in between them, look, now they look like two different apples. And that's another technique that I learned from Ginger. You really need to, those shadows are powerful. Depending where you put your shadows, it really either gives life to your painting, or it may make your painting flop. So just keep it aware of where you think the shadows will fall. And sometimes if you have still life, if you're painting still life, you really could see the shadows. And also if you have a picture, you can always take a black and white picture and look at the gray scale and look at the different temperatures or value on that gray, on that black and white picture, and that will help with your painting. I don't have one in front of me. I'm making this one from reference of, you know, what I remember how Ginger did it. I was not running her video while I was composing this. I basically just going from what I remember, what she taught me in that lesson. And then here I needed something, so I decided to just put some scribblies. So I hope you like this video. And you know, I probably will later on put a little glitter or something, because I always have to have sparkle. I might put some sparkle. I don't know. Don't know yet. But this is my interpretation of the episode for Ginger Cook, that she created a jug with some fruit with her acrylic paints. Now I'm using my acrylic paints, which are Master Touch, Art of Love, and just different colors, greens, blues, grays, whatever I found, I used it for the paint. And I do like it. So I hope you like this video, and thank you for watching. Bye now.